The Supreme Court has struck down President Trump's global tariffs, declaring he exceeded his authority under the 1977 Emergency Powers Act. Trump has already vowed to bypass the ruling with new executive orders. Trump pledged to impose a new 10% global tariff on imports, escalating trade tensions and signaling a renewed push for aggressive trade policies. The Nevada County Sheriff's Office is investigating possible criminal negligence following Tuesday's deadly avalanche near Castle Peak. 8 skiers were killed and 1 remains missing after the group continued their trip despite high-risk warnings. Officials are questioning why the excursion wasn't canceled as blizzard conditions intensified. Tensions reach a breaking point as the U.S. deploys its largest air and naval force since 2003. While Geneva talks stall over nuclear enrichment, President Trump has issued a 10-day ultimatum. With carrier strike groups in position, the window for diplomacy is rapidly closing. Turkish authorities formally arrested Deutsche Welle correspondent Alexan Uludağ on Friday. Uludağ is accused of insulting President Erdogan in social media posts criticizing the judiciary. Deutsche Welle has condemned the move as deliberate intimidation, while international press groups demand his immediate release. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is firing back at J.D. Vance tonight. AOC blasted the vice president's Board of Peace joke as deeply unserious regarding foreign policy. She argues the rhetoric undermines diplomatic efforts, while Vance's team maintains the comment was merely a critique of failed bureaucracy. Activists and former residents describe life in Russian-occupied Ukraine as a struggle for survival. Reports highlight forced passportization, arbitrary detentions, and crumbling infrastructure. With scarce water and constant fear of disloyalty checks, those remaining face a harsh, dangerous existence under intensifying Russian control. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un opened a landmark party congress in Pyongyang, vowing to prioritize the nation's living standards. Addressing thousands of delegates, Kim called the effort a historic task, signaling a pivot toward economic relief as the country continues to face heavy international sanctions. The U.S. trade deficit surged 32.6% in December to over $70 billion, hitting a 5-month high. Despite President Trump's sweeping tariffs, a spike in high-tech imports for AI and industrial supplies outpaced exports. Experts suggest the levies shifted trade to countries like Vietnam rather than reducing the overall gap. President Trump pledged $10 billion to his newly formed Board of Peace during its inaugural Washington meeting Thursday. Aimed at rebuilding Gaza, the initiative includes billions in international support. Trump called the body a consequential step toward regional harmony, though critics question how the funds will be allocated. After 50 years selling newspapers on the streets of Paris, Ali Akbar has been awarded the Legion of Honor. The legendary vendor, a fixture of the city's daily life, is now officially a knight. Akbar's decades of service prove that every story and every storyteller matters. A diplomatic row has erupted as President Macron told Italian PM Giorgia Meloni to stay at home and avoid interfering in French affairs. The friction follows Meloni's condemnation of the killing of a far-right activist in Lyon, which Macron dismissed as nationalist interference in domestic matters. U.S. intelligence warns at least 15,000 detainees are at large following the collapse of the Al-Hol detention camp in Syria. Security vanished after Kurdish forces withdrew, sparking fears of an ISIS resurgence as the U.S. continues its phased military withdrawal from the region. Norway has shattered the record for the most gold medals won at a single Winter Olympics. Johannes Del Skjevdal clinched the nation's 17th gold with a flawless biathlon victory today, surpassing Norway's own previous mark of 16. The Norwegians continue to dominate the 2026 medal table. President Trump lashed out at the Supreme Court today following a landmark ruling striking down his latest trade tariffs. In a fiery morning post, the president labeled the decision a judicial overreach, questioning the justice's loyalty to his economic agenda while promising immediate executive counteractions. Venezuela has approved a historic amnesty bill, potentially freeing hundreds of political detainees. Acting President Delcy Rodriguez signed the measure following last month's capture of Nicolas Maduro. The law targets those held for political dissent since 1999, marking a major shift toward national reconciliation. NASA's successful fueling test has cleared the path for a historic March 6th launch. After overcoming past leaks, the SLS rocket is ready. The four-person crew officially entered quarantine Friday, signaling high optimism for the first human flight to the moon in over 50 years. Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather has announced he is officially coming out of retirement. Following his spring 2026 exhibition against Mike Tyson, the undefeated 50-0 fighter plans to resume his professional career this summer, stating he still has records to set in the sport. Sony is bringing the symbiote to life in a new animated Venom feature. Final Destination Bloodlines directors Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein are set to helm the project. While plot details are under wraps, live-action star Tom Hardy is expected to be involved. Season 3 winner Eva Marcille says she was amazingly horrified after watching a new Netflix docuseries exposing toxic behavior on America's Next Top Model. Marcille, who wasn't invited to participate, claims producers aided and abetted an environment involving alleged sexual assault and eating disorders. League insiders say this year's #1 overall pick is worth a staggering $100 million. With generational talents like AJ Debonsa and Darren Peterson on the board, executives believe teams would pay record-breaking prices to secure a franchise-altering star in June.